Hey everyone, this is Mark here at my studio, the Action Figuratorium. And as many of you know, I am a real big collector of toys, meaning I collect real big toys such as this 20-inch Hellboy made by Mezco, a little Tonka guy there for size comparison. So you can imagine my excitement level when I heard that Haslab is coming out with a real big car for the Ghost Rider character, and we're going to talk about that today on the Action Figuratorium. Okay, so I have two things that I really want to touch upon in this Haslab project for the Engine of Vengeance, it's called. And let's click over. We're on the Haslab site. This is the campaign. You can see that they need a target of 9,000 backers. They're up to 3,740 as of the recording of this vid. And I have two things that I want to talk about in regards to this project. The first thing is how this thing is being packaged and marketed, and the second thing is how they came up with the price, because a lot of people seem to be diving into the price on this thing, which comes up a lot these days. It used to not come up so much, but here it's definitely an issue. But before we get on to those two topics, I'm going to start off with a prediction, and if this is something you want to clip out and then use against me later in the future on some Discord chat room, that's fine. I think that's fair. But I'm going to predict that this makes it, okay? I'm going to predict that it limps along. It's a little slow going, but it slowly builds and eventually gets to its 9,000 near the end. And then it's going to sort of jump up another, 3,000 after that. So I'm going to say it's going to close at about 12,000 when this thing is done at the end of the 44 days left to go here. And the reason I say that is because as they reveal more action figures in the different tiers that you're going to get with this thing as they hit sales, all these people who were like, well, I was really on the fence until they showed me Mephisto, and now, boom, take my money. And then they're going to show another tier, and more people are going to come out and they're going to say, well, I was, I was against it, but with these figures, I'm going to, boom, take my money, right? It's going to clear. It's definitely going to clear at this point, but it's going to limp. So, of these two things I want to talk about, first of all, how they're marketing this. So what I just brought up to you is exactly the problem that I'm having with the Haslab brand specifically. And that is, why are they hiding behind this marketing gimmick of being this crowdfunding engine as if like they're stuck having to give out, tier gifts and stuff like that. Like this is Kickstarter. They own this website. They don't have to go by any rules whatsoever. They can do whatever they want on this. They can put up anything they want, and they can charge anything they want, and they're not beholden to any sort of guidelines or rules. So why are they doing that? Because when people start complaining that they're not going to pay money for this until they see the other figures in the tier, well, that means those are lost sales any way you look at it. Now, I know you're thinking, yeah, but if they do this thing where they hype it up and then it hits a certain level, they hype it up some more with another figure and it hits another level and it keeps building and hyping. Yeah, but if people aren't going to buy because you're not showing it, it doesn't matter anything about that, right? Because if it doesn't fund, all that money you spent hyping this thing is wasted. You haven't made any money whatsoever, but you spent money marketing it. So, why are you not just coming out and saying, look, this is what you get. This car, these three figures, and this diorama. It's a set, $350, you get the whole thing. This is what you get. Why aren't they just doing that? Because that's what everyone is holding on to their money, waiting for, to see when they're going to come out with more figures to make it worth their while. Why don't they just come out with this? Why aren't they just doing that? Why aren't they just making all this stuff just come out and say, look, here's Galactus, here's the 4 figures you get, it costs this much. And let that overwhelming sense of stuff, right, let that do the marketing and selling of your product. So why is Haslab doing that? It doesn't make any sense to me that they're running around with this gimmick when it's actually detracting sales. Okay, second thing, how did they come up with this price, right? If this car, this 1/12 car, was a model kit by like AMT or Revell or Polar Lights or Bandai, any of those companies, Dragon Models, whatever, right? If it was like a 1/24 scale car, right, it would be 25, 30 bucks, you know, if it had the kit that gave you the extra wheels and the lights. I could see it being 30 bucks. At a 1/12 size, this is a $50 model kit, right? This is the model kit that is behind the counter on a shelf, 50 bucks on display. You can see it. In New York toy stores in Manhattan, it's like 69 bucks. Those FAO Schwartz type places. Okay, everywhere else it's $49.99 for this model kit. And the action figure is just a driver that comes with it. And in fact, if you look at this action figure, you'll notice that he's actually 100% totally, legitimately lame. This is a lame action figure. This is a Snake Eyes. This is just a generic body with black paint on it, you know, and they stuck a Terminator head on it or something. I don't know. It looks like a robot. So this body is lame other than to say, hey, you get a driver with your cool car. That's it. This is just included with it. This is nothing. This is trash. This is total trash. So if that's the case, if this is a $50 car, right, and there's some other YouTube channels like Iron Ken and some other cats out there, I'll post links to their videos where they talk about this. They found similar vehicles for $50. You know, there's ones out there that are like die-cast or semi-die-cast, plastic and die-cast parts with interchangeable wheels where you can buy from custom shops different wheels and different fixings to go on it. So, so if this is a $50 car, well, what's the $300 go to, right? Do they give you 15 Marvel Legend action figures? I don't think so. So the big thing that everyone's talking about is, what am I in? How are you charging for this? How is this much money? And it's pretty clear that it just doesn't work out in enough people's minds. Even though I think it's going to clear, I think a lot of people are hesitant, and I think what you're going to get on this is the majority of the sales are probably going to be resellers, which some people like to refer to as scalpers. I think that name's kind of cool because it sounds like maybe they're out there on the prairie going after pioneers or something. I don't know what that means. The scalper thing, it just sounds cool, whatever it is. And resellers, whatever, right? I think this is people picking these things up because they know it's going to be something you're going to look for later on. And one of the things that I don't want anyone to mistake is that I'm not saying that this car isn't cool. It's plenty cool. It's in that archetype of Mopar black muscle cars, like the Batman is now driving one, or, you know, you look at any of those Mad Max Road Warrior movies where he's driving the old Ford Falcon. It's kind of this archetype. It's of this school, you know. The Batmobile, other incarnations of it is also kind of sort of really of this school. So we're not saying that the car is lame, and we're not saying that the effects on it are lame at all. We're saying that if AMT made this, it would be, you know, or Welly or somebody, it would be $50, and it would be a hefty $50. You would be, as you peeled the bills apart, you'd be like, okay, it's a cool car, but, you know. So I'm saying to get to $50, people are holding their breath. At $350, I think either you're greedy or you just don't look at things from the consumer's glasses. You just don't understand what people are willing to buy or pay for. So let me kind of close with this thought about this particular toy. If Haslab came out with this thing and they said, look, it's the car with the, by the way, you know, when they're like saying functional wheels, like really? Like, wouldn't have functional wheels? You think it's like, how lame do you have to be to like think that that's you're leading your marketing? Also, comes with like the action figure comes with like some weapons and like a chain, and the chain is like, it's touted on here as like being real chain. Like, wow, woo, $350, and some like those fake trinket necklaces that you get in like the 25-cent, you know, vending machines. They're like throwing one of those in, and they're, come on, you're robbing people. Honestly, you cannot put functional wheels in your advertisement and real chain, charge $350, and say that you're not being greedy and robbing people. That is totally dishonest, because that stuff does not make for this big of a markup at all. Not even close. At least look at what Mezco does with their Gomez figures and what they include, at least, before you come out with this price. Okay, so back to the $50 thing. If this was $50, right, and it was the car and it worked, functional wheels, and you could put the little flamey things on with the lights, right? It's all included what you see here, not gimping it. Same action figure, okay? And that's it. No other guy, no dude with human head, no Mephistos, no other Marvel Legends guys. This car, the driver, $50, that's it. And they only needed to hit the exact same amount of monetary value, 21,000 units sold. So right now they're going for 9,000. Do you think they could sell 21,000 of these at $50 each? That's the question I'm asking people. Put it in the comments with all your other flames. I know everyone's angry. They don't like it when you talk down to Haslab. It's okay. You're allowed to be angry once in a while, and you can share that in the comments. But do you think 21,000 of these at $50 would sell? Now, if you moved it to, like, say, 100, then you gotta start adding stuff. You have to add a guy rides in the trunk or something. You gotta add another. You have to include the motorcycle then, or something like that. It gets messy. 50, car, flame kit, figure, 21,000. Why couldn't they do 21,000 of these and put them at retail for $50? Ridiculous. Anyways, catch you guys next one.